What's up guys? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this summer inspired necklace. Let's get right into how to create this piece. Begin by stringing your beads onto your wire. I'm using a 19 strand, 0.18 inch and 0.046 millimeter wire. I personally like to keep the wire attached to the spool as I'm stringing the beads, just to prevent the beads from flying everywhere, and it'll keep them secure on the wire. Now that all the beads are on the wire, the next step is to attach a crimp cover to the end of the wire. Insert it from the bottom portion of the crimp cover so that the opening of the crimp cover is facing towards the end of the wire, and let that slide down next to the last bead. Then attach a crimp bead onto the wire, and then take the wire and insert the wire back into the crimp bead, creating a little knot inside of the crimp, and just pull that to tighten it up and close it off. You could even use your plier to tighten it even more. Next, using a crimper tool, crimp down on this bead using the bottom section of the crimper tool that looks like a heart. Once you're ready and the bead is inside, go ahead and press down. And it should look like this once it's pressed down. Next, using the top section of the crimper tool, go ahead and turn the crimp bead perpendicular inside of the top section of the crimper tool. Press down, creating a fold over effect on the crimp bead. Next, use your cutter tool to cut that excess wire off. Then grab the crimp cover and pull that over on top of the crimp bead. Close that off to shut it up. Next, we're going to use an O-ring to attach the toggle to the end of the crimp cover using our set of pliers. Open up the O-ring side to side. Attach it to the bottom loop of the toggle clasp and then onto the little ring of the crimp cover. This part is super crucial because when you are closing up the O-ring, you want to push your hands closer together as you're closing it up, past the ring and come back to where they meet. And you kind of want to hear that clicking noise. That means that the two sides of the O-ring are touching to prevent the crimp cover from slipping off. Now that one side of the toggle is done, cut the opposite side of the wire off of the spool. It's essential to cut enough space of the wire because you want to be able to have enough room to work with to close off the opposite side. If you cut it too short, it's going to be super difficult to control the wire and close it off. So go ahead and cut about this much off. I would say it's about 5 to 6 inches of extra wire. Next, attach the crimp cover from the bottom of the hole. Always remember to have the crimp cover facing towards the end of the wire when stringing it on. And then attach the little crimp bead onto the wire. Insert the tip of the wire back into the crimp bead, creating that little knot. It's essential to always check and make sure that the beads are not too tight on the wire and that they're flexible, because if they are too tight, that pressure could cause the wire to snap and we don't want that. We do also want to make sure that the crimp bead is close to the crimp cover, because if it's not, then you would essentially have too much space between the wire and the crimp, and you don't want too much of that wire showing at the end either. Using the tip of the plier really helps me position the crimp bead where I want it to stay. Pull that wire to create that loop around the crimp bead. Next, I use the crimper tool and crimp down the bottom section of the crimp bead, and I pull the crimp bead out to the side of the crimp cover. That way I have access to it. Should look something like this, to where you see the crimp bead popping out from the side of the crimp cover, and that's going to give you the access to go and press down with the crimper tool on the bottom section first. Then turn it perpendicular inside of the top part and press down so that it creates that fold over effect. Should look like that. Next, you can go ahead and cut the extra wire off, pop that crimp bead back into the crimp cover, close off your crimp cover over on top of the crimp bead. Next, we're going to attach the toggle bar to the opposite side of the crimp cover, just like we did with the other side, using an O-ring and set of pliers. Open it up side to side, attach it to the little ring of the crimp cover, and then attach the toggle bar. Always remember to push your hands closer together as you're closing up the jump ring. Hear that little click. Pass it and then come back to where they meet. You could totally stop here, but I'm actually going to go ahead and attach this freshwater pearl cross charm to dangle at the bottom as well. We just received these oval O-rings, and I think it would look beautiful to use this to attach to hang to the bottom instead of a classic O-ring. The way to open this up is very similar to a round O-ring, and you just open it up side to side. Then you attach the charm as well as onto the round toggle clasp. And then using the same method as we do with a regular O-ring, you just close up the oval O-ring and it should look like this. And that's all you need to do to create this summer inspired necklace. Here's what the necklace looks like on up close. This piece was inspired by my Chanel silk top that I'm wearing here. I'm actually going to be traveling this summer, so I wanted to create something that matches really cute with this top, and I thought the pinks and the pearls really matched well with this top. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got inspired to create your own design. I'll be linking all the products that I use down below in the description, so you can just click the link and it will redirect you to our website where you can shop these products and create these pieces or any design of your choice. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!